What's up? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good morning.
Wow, that was not supposed to happen, but hello, everybody. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Ron Jordan. What's up, dude?
Good morning, Ron.
How was your first day off? Or wait, today's first day
We,
off.
we just started.
Yeah,
10
excited.
plus.
Good
The
morning,
birds are a little
Savvy.
bit the birds are a little bit louder today. The sun's a little
Sun's
bit
a little
brighter.
brighter. Nice.
Everything's just a little bit nicer.
The coffee tastes that much better.
It's delicious.
The
I
sound of my children's voices are like music to my ears.
I made so I finally got like a new batch of drip coffee.
Hmm.
And so like usually like the first week I'm just like super into like all the intricacies of the things that I normally do. But like I woke up this morning, I was like, how much coffee exactly should go into a cup of water? So I'm like researching how to like brew a perfect cup of coffee
Yeah.
because I have the time now.
Your mind's not racing about like, okay, Jason, today you do not strangle a teenager or make them
Yeah.
cry. You're not you're not having to talk yourself into that. Okay, we're gonna get amped up about standing in front of a classroom and being excited about clay for the 400 millionth time.
I'm a little over clay. Made some cool stuff.
Uh,
Last day, I don't know if anybody else's kids are on the last day. It was actually a very nice last day of school. I got some really nice cards from some students who I really have not had since like the beginning of the year. But
oh, okay,
you know,
nice.
we guess we had like a great connection. They had a great time, and that's all I can hope for. And I even got some really good hugs from some students who I got along with very well. So it was nice. It was a good, not too crazy last day. And
Good stuff.
then I got home, immediately made a margarita, a double, and
Oh
my
man.
two older girls had a friend over. Then we ended up having our new neighbors' kids over. So it was kind of like a yes day for a little bit over here, with just
Hmm.
like loud noises. It was good. It was a nice uh, first. It was a nice end to the day. Good end to the year.
Yeah.
Feel good about it, and then moving into the summer, and then this is the time where it's like I run at like 130% for like 2 weeks, where I'm just amped up with like the things that I've been meaning to get to, and at some point it eventually burns out
Yeah.
for
Hit
about a
that
week.
wall.
So I'm kind of in the space of pacing myself, but also how long can I push it this time?
Yeah. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah,
Take advantage of it while it lasts.
yeah.
Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Savvy. See you guys. How's everybody doing? Um, yeah, my kids. My last day was pretty well. I got my work done early. I was able to get on the road, very minimal traffic, and get home just in time to get Brooklyn from school. She jumped in the car and just bawling her eyes out because her main teacher this year, she retired. So it's last year. So there was a lot of emotions there with, because she's still going to be in middle school for 2 years. And she was very much like, I don't get to see her again, like all this stuff. And like, well, I just hope we're able to tell her, some things, some nice things, or, I'm sure you could find a way to keep in contact with her somehow, like through the school or through something. Like there's got to be a way if you really want to like keep in touch and let her know. I'm sure she would love to know how you're doing, and how she impacted you in the school. Like if she impacted you this, like she was literally crying the entire way home, and like every time she thought like real tears, like liquid coming out and everything So it was cute to see because she had like as you guys all know, she had a really tough year at school, and so I think this teacher was one that kind of grounded her a little bit, and it was her main homeroom teacher. So it was nice to hear that because most of the time I hear about like her other teacher was like, I don't like this teacher, like she's so difficult, she doesn't do that, like all that is mostly what I heard. So it was cool to hear. And then I get home to Bentley, and Bentley, the first thing he said to me was, I don't want to go into first grade. I like my teacher too much. I want to stay in kindergarten. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. But, and we told this teacher that the day before. Um, and she's like, oh, well, I have good news. I'm actually moving to second grade now. So hopefully I'll be able to get him next year, next year. So that would be a cool little turnaround to get her twice because he really enjoyed her and we really enjoyed her as a teacher as well. And then
My kindergartner was happy to finish kindergarten.
yeah,
And my middle Junie, she has had no, maybe Kira. One of them has had the same teacher for different grades. Like they seem to like kind of shift grades every once in a while.
uh-huh,
Um, we did have some teachers retire yesterday, and some eighth graders are really like they were very emotional about it, which was nice to
yeah,
see. It's like, it's just cool to see when like the student teacher relationship breaks down and it's more of like a person to person.
mm-hmm.
And you end up, there's probably like maybe 3 students that I'm in touch with just through socials from like my first few years of teaching that are now adults. No
Oh, that's
kids yet.
cool.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Um, and then like some kids are like, hey, I found you on Facebook. I sent you a friend request. And I'm like, no, you're 12. You shouldn't have this. And I cannot do that legally. So,
Like there's all kinds of questionable interactions there. Like
yeah.
this is not going to happen right now. Um, yeah, and then and then my last kid, right, Bailey, I sent her a message in the morning. I'm like, hey, like, how do you feel about sophomore year? I kind of feel like this was like the best school year for you. Like you really seemed to shine. Like, and I sent a whole like, I'm super proud of you, like all that you've accomplished, blah, all that stuff. And she was like, yeah, very much one of the best years for sure out here, minus third grade. Like she really still like, so she's in sophomore year, she really still holds on to like her third grade teacher as like her best, most impactful teacher. Like she loves her. Um, so that was super cool to hear. And then also she had like an emotional uh couple of weeks or whatever, and she said goodbye to a bunch of senior friends. So she was very much at that and I kind of like I thought back, I'm like, I don't remember that when I was in high school. Like I was never put in a situation where I was hanging out with the older classmen, but like my daughter being on like the swim team and the cheer team, because I wasn't on any teams, uh, she very much interacts with a lot of seniors. And so as they all graduated, like I guess she was there in the audience for the graduation or whatever. And yeah, I saw her at the swim banquet, like when the seniors got announced that we're leaving, she just started bawling. So it's just super cute to see this stuff going on with my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. You're talking about like when like that teenage facade, that's not, maybe not even a facade, but it kind of breaks away and like emotions come out.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
it's encouraging for today's youth for sure.
They
Yeah,
aren't just little couch potatoes.
no, they're
They have
not. They
feelings too.
they make real world connections sometimes. Yeah, I had some upperclassmen connections in high school. I did I did the school musical for 3 years, and
Oh, nice.
that was a really good. Those the upperclassmen in like that community was much more welcoming than like the sports community. Like in soccer and baseball, it was very much like you had to prove your way up to that level of coolness, or whatever you want to call it. The I guess drama. I guess we'll call it drama. They were very much more open to like, meeting. And I got to tell you, the backstage crew and the drama crew, they party like they're the ones that have the parties that
Oh,
you
really? Yeah.
commonly associate with the athletes. Like there were definitely some uh, like just like fiends. They were just like party fiends, and they were they were
Hmm.
like doing things that athletes just the things that happen in like Varsity Blues, that
Gotcha.
movie.
Yeah.
Like the sports people weren't doing that. Backstage crew, they were doing that. They were going wild.
Keep your kids out of the drama program is what he's saying.
Uh, I mean, yeah, kind of, but also it's like I would definitely say that was what helped me break out of my shell as a sophomore was getting into that crew instead of as well as doing sports as well. So like when baseball season came around, I kind of had to like hide the fact that I was uh, singing in Showboat while we were doing spring
Okay.
training. I'd had to go back and forth, and I was very self conscious about it. And then finally, like some one of the one of the guys who was kind of a dick, he found out that I was doing a play, and he publicly shamed me.
Oh no.
But
Man, you lived that movie.
yeah,
I think that plot has been in a couple of movie and TV shows, but you lived it.
but yeah, do a play, folks. It's fun.
Yeah, my Bailey used to be in youth drama. She was in it for quite some time, like 6 or 7 years. It was super cute, super fun. And then there was a very dramatic like time frame when we like the parents all found out that like the senior kids, so like the older kids were commingling with the junior kids and like playing truth or dare and stuff like that, and it got a little, like above the age,
Be right
because it
back.
was teenagers hanging out with younger kids. And so I remember that going through, being a little, yeah. Twitter DMs, I don't know what's going on, man. I opened it up this morning and I was like, oh, the VFam chat died. That's really weird. And so I guess we're going to be having a different kind of day today, y'all. How are we all going to interact and get on with our days without Twitter DMs? I know for one thing, I'll probably be way more productive because I won't be scrolling thousands of messages. But I also fear because I've been able to send a message, but I fear that it's going to turn on and all the messages we've been trying to send are just going to come through at once. So I don't know if I don't think you dabble as much into Twitter as some of us here, Jason, but apparently the DMs are off right now or they're not working. Yeah. Dylan, another Turner who was a techie and an athlete and hit the drama parties hard. See, the Turner boys know how to rage. Yep.
Cheers, Dylan.
It's
Cheers.
not working, man. Twitter is a buzz.
Wonder what's good.
How was the reading? What'd you think, man?
Great point. Bad example. Today, so we're talking about the times when when if I use a personal analogy, there have been times where it's like you're feeling really clever, witty, a little bit cheeky maybe, and you say something that might be true, but it's biting and doesn't necessarily make the situation any better. In
Yeah.
this particular story, we're talking about Jeff Bezos, um, where he heard an anti-smoking PSA in the car about how you lose so many minutes of your life with each cigarette. And he was in the car with his grandparents, and for every cigarette that you have, you lose a certain amount of time. And then he told his grandma, "Hey, grandma, you've just lost 9 years of your life." Is it true? Possibly. I think that's probably a pretty good argument for not smoking. But then grandma started to cry, probably because maybe she was a little bit self-conscious about it. And then granddad, papa, pulled him aside and said, "You're probably," or something along the lines of, "You're probably right, but sometimes you have to be kind about it." Um, I think that's a bad example because, like, yeah, I mean, smoking's terrible for you. I think any information to get somebody to stop smoking, especially like losing minutes or hours off of your life, that's a pretty good argument, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not saying that they all need to be shamed, but I would say being aware of that is probably healthier than not being aware of it. And I feel like in the past, I've definitely said things, to I guess it's been mostly to Kristen, probably, that may have been true, but in a sarcastic and not positive way.
In a cheeky
That's
way.
cheeky, whatever you want to say it.
Yeah.
That just kind of like created, I don't know, angst or negativity. So um, I'm gonna use the word wonton again, but just kind of like throwing like negative bullets out to people. Like, would some of that be true? Yeah, whether it's diet or whether it's lifestyle or anything like that, or money spending. Like I've definitely done that with Kristen with spending money in the past.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't make it doesn't help anything. If anything, it just kind of creates resentment. So that's kind of my takeaway today is like, whatever you're gonna say, do it with kindness, or try to be productive about it, or try to put a positive spin on it. With students, yesterday I only had one interaction where I kind of had to kind of drop the hammer on a student who was kind of being a jerk to another student, and this particular student, bigger dude, kind of an ego, and I had to, and I if I'm thinking about it now, probably could have had a bit more of a. It was the morning, and I was looking tired on the last day, and the conversation was generally how, like, you're not going to be the big dog on campus anymore. Like, you are moving down to the bottom of the totem pole again, and if you keep saying those things, somebody's probably going to do something about it.
Yeah.
I said it not as nice as that. It was uh, more like a, I don't know, reprimanding, I guess. I don't know. But, might it have been true? And might it have hit in a more positive way if I had been a bit more kinder about it? Yeah. Um, so, so yeah, it was a timely page, I guess, if with that particular situation. How about you?
No, I like this page. I like this reminder. I'm definitely, in the same boat as you. I've had my fair share of cheeky comments to my wife, to all my kids, to anyone in my universe. I think I kind of grew up, uh, in a household that, kind of did that, like a family that what's I forget the word, but like playfully cut you down, or like the backhanded comments. That's the word I was thinking of. Like where it's like you
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
say something nice, but in like a backhanded kind of way, you're taking someone down a peg. And so I grew up very much in that environment. I mean, I think we kind of all did in a way. It was very mainstream popular culture, whatever you want to call it. So, stuff like this is definitely helping me. Like stuff like what Greek Mike said. I love this. Like, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? I think I've heard that before. It's definitely not something that I practice or is top of mind. So that's one of the reasons why I love this book, is like it helps these thoughts like constantly be pushed into my mind, so that over time I'm seeing that the other thoughts that I've grown up with and were programmed into me are slowly getting pushed out. Like I can see progress, and I look forward to, year 5, year 10, year whatever of this, where I almost can see it already that like I'm just going to be a completely different person. And that's the journey I'm on. Like I can't rush it. It's just going to happen when it happens. There's 30 something years of the other programming. Hopefully it doesn't take 30 something years for me to come out the other end a different human. But yeah, I'm here for it anyways. If I'm 70 years old and I'm that better guy, then I'll still still know it was all worth it, you know?
Hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely hard to think about it in the moment. Like when you're seeing like, a mess in the house, the kids just can't put their shoes in the right place, or, dishes in the sink that, no one bothered to clean the debris off. They just left it there so it could all harden and become a harder chore. It's hard to not, make those comments. I think right now I just kind of, keep them in, let them pass, and then just do my duty of cleaning. Like cleaning's probably the biggest one that I think that comes from me. Like where the little cheeky little comments would always come out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my classroom,
Yep.
not at home, definitely more at school, and maybe after repeating the directions like for the umpteenth time, maybe a little bit of sarcasm is just give yourself a little bit. Like
Yeah.
like I've had to tell kids to read the room, had to tell kids to stop touching each other in weird ways. Um in a way that definitely calls attention to them and knocks them down a peg a little bit. At my worst, for sure. Like when I'm at my worst and I get sarcastic with students, it probably doesn't hit, and it's more of like a free roasting session.
Yeah.
Sometimes that feels good.
Yeah, like I had a little I had a little incident yesterday at the pool party where I kind of felt like my wife was doing this a little bit to me, and she was, giving me a little bit of the stink eye because I was being a little rough with the kids. But in my mind, it's like they all wanted this, right? Like as soon as I walked through the door, they were like, "When are you going to get in the pool? Like we need a bad guy in the game." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I got to be the bad guy." So like my goal was to go in the pool anyways. It was a nice hot day. The pool was, beautifully tempered. So I went in, and right away, like I get this swarm because I'm the only adult in the pool. I get this swarm of kids just attacking me. And so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like drown and die? Like, because I'm the bad guy. Or am I supposed to start chucking kids off of me, hitting them with pool noodles, grabbing the spray guns and spraying them? Like, they sprayed me in the ear canal, like, I don't know, 15 times, in the face, all that stuff. And we were having fun, right? So we're having fun the whole time. And then I was kind of taking a break and sitting on this ledge, and the two of the younger kids came and like jumped on me, and were both kind of attacking me. And I put my hands on their chest, and I was going to push them in the pool, but as I was pushing them, they both hooked my arm, which made them push together. So I essentially smashed their heads together, like banging two coconuts. And unfortunately, it was like my big-headed son and this young, our friend's daughter Paisley, and so he cracked her coconut, and she started crying instantly. So I picked her up, I comforted her, I walked her safely out of the pool and to her mom, uh, and my wife was just staring at me, and I'm like, I'm just having fun. What do you want from me?
Yeah,
But you know,
there's a fine line in those situations of having fun. I tend to go over that line with kids for sure. Um, but I think you answered the age-old question: who would win in a fight? One kid-sized man or 100 man-sized kids? And I think we found our answer, Dom.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Excellent. Well, we got 4 minutes, Dom.
What's everybody else doing? How's everybody going into their Memorial Day weekend? You got anything planned? Your first summer weekend? What are you guys getting up to?
Tentative plan to do some playing at a reservoir,
Oh, okay.
some stand-up paddleboarding. Uh, we have some kid kayaks. I think we're gonna do that.
Nice. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, we have I don't think we have anything today. I'm working today. And then we have a family coming in town tomorrow, and the moms are going to cash in their Mother's Day spa trip. So the three moms, my wife, her mom, and then sister-in-law, they're all going to go do a mom spa trip, and the guys are going to watch the kids, hang out at the house. They're going to spend the night so they don't have to drive home. And on Sunday we're having a party with the friends at our house. So I gotta scrub the crap out of the pool, get that thing cleaned, and that's gonna be my Friday and Saturday for the most part.
I have
Ron's getting a podcast done today and a promo video to announce a break format Tuesday show, and then river. Hit the river, man. There you go.
Yeah, river sounds cooler than a reservoir. I like that. I
Right?
started tearing up the floor here. Like the first thing I did, I made my margarita, and my energy. Like I got home. You get home after like on the first day, and you're just buzzing with energy. You want to do all the things at once. Um, and I started tearing up my floor here in my studio. So like,
Okay.
because I'm really tired of rolling around on carpet. It's really annoying.
Yeah. What are
So
you
I'm
gonna put
doing
down
that.
there?
And like I made a drink and then disappeared. And then Kristen came down and she was like, I have a list of like 20 things. She was like, I'm doing my list first. And this carpet is first to go. So I went pretty morning margarita.
All
Yes, there
right.
is. I do have a margarita left over from last night that I will probably, I was going to go to the gym, but I think I'm going to drink that margarita and tear up some carpet.
You gonna put some like vinyl flooring down there or something like that? Like some
Yeah,
half wood?
something a little more
Yeah.
work specific.
Good stuff.
I have to
Awesome.
learn how to do the threshold between carpet and hard floor. I don't know how to do
Mm,
that.
bummer. Let me know if you need help.
Do you know how to do that?
So, would you? I don't know how much you know about me, but do you know that I'm like sitting currently in a flooring showroom?
I did not. Let's go through those samples. Let's go to that. Ooh, that light maple. That looks nice.
Yeah. Give you guys a little tour of the showroom here.
Excellent. Oh, you got any houndstooth?
I don't know what that is. I'm not a flooring guy. I'm the general contractor, but the guy I share the office with is a he owns a flooring business.
Nice. I did not know. Now we have some context of where you're at every morning. That's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, enjoy your project, man. Like let me know if you if you do have any questions or send me some photos or whatever of what you're doing and I can always ask my buddy what he recommends or how he would do it. That's literally what he spends his days doing. So
Well, I'll put a little bug in your ear. What's the best material to put on top of bare concrete? That's what I need.
mm, gotcha. Yep,
So I'll
I'll
be
shoot you
texting.
some messages, dude.
Excellent. All
Right
right.
on, everybody.
I'm gonna go drink a margarita.
Get your morning margaritas, people, or your morning coffees, I guess, if you have to go to work. But enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. If we don't see you, I should be on tomorrow morning. I think I can. I think I can do it. But who knows? If not, I have Monday off, so I don't know. We'll try to do something, but if not, for sure, I'll see you guys again on Tuesday. Hit me in the Twitter DMs if you can. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. But yeah, everybody have a great day. See you later.
See everybody. Love you
See you, buddy.
all.